Two each. Appreciate it.
I know.
Done.
Obviously not the result you would have wanted, but just your thoughts on the game as a whole, because you contained pretty well the first half an hour at least.
Well, the result is, like I said, I've been many times in the other dressing room, preparing for exactly these type of games, and I think the mindset of every player is exactly they expect these type of games at home against championship teams. But in the end, the first 45 minutes, in my opinion, you obviously want to do better on the goals we concede, but you got to give the bloke some credit as well. And in the end, I think the first half was something I didn't go at halftime thinking we're out of the game. But very clearly, you see why this team is such a good team. I'm interested to see what Pep said to them at halftime. But the second half, we had no chance.
And just was in it and said he admired the sort of courage that Bertie showed today in the tactics of going man to man, and the sort of way that you play as you always have played in the league, and you did the same at Manchester United. Was that important to you to play your way and your game?
Well, what was the aggregate score of a Premier League Burnley team over the years at the Etihad? It was like 34-1, doing exactly the opposite way. So someone had to give it a go the other way anyway at this point. But I do look at it as something. This is how you learn. This is why like I said, I'm a championship coach. Of a championship team, and all of us, myself included, have got I think such an exciting journey of getting better. For me, these type of moments, I definitely save them in my mind, and they usually help me, these moments. So yeah.
Does that give you any added motivation that you probably needed to try and get to this level next season in the Premier League and do battle like this?
Yeah, if I could play this game 10 times in a row, I'd do it 10 times. Until you find a way, until something happens. I don't think we came here with expectations either. Expectations because, like, we wanted to we expect always. You don't all of a sudden turn off the willingness to win. So our willingness is always to win. But these type of games are a lot of the times much better than any other game you can play.
On the bloke, you might have to give some credit to Haaland. Just how good a player is he? Obviously, you've seen plenty of him, but having gone up against him in the dugout today,
yeah.
How good a player is he?
I think he's an exciting player because what everybody sees is its goals, and he's obviously already very, very good at that. His movement in the box, and then obviously he's got the athleticism and pace to be on the end of those balls. He has a good feeling for where the ball's going to land as well in the box, which he reacts like a poacher. But then as well, he's at the right place, I think, for his development as well, because he's still very young, and I can see him improve a lot still. And he's with the right coach, in the right environment, and I think he has the right mindset. So he'll get better, no doubt.
Phil?
You centre half yourself. How would you stop someone like that? How would you? I mean you personally as a centre back.
No, look. I've played against the greats of this time. Your Messis, Ronaldinhos, Zidane, all these guys. Cristiano Ronaldo. In the end, they're part of a very, very special elite, because I don't think I think even the very best find it difficult to stop those guys. No matter what you say that you're going to stop them, they're going to find a way. And someone like Erling will keep finding a way. I think in the end, like I said, the biggest thing for me is that his game can still improve, and he looks to me like a player who's, and that's maybe the difference with the other superstars in general. To me, he looks like a player, superstar, but that's still willing to improve, and that's exciting to see.
So you mentioned some of the greatest modern day players of all time now, and you've included him in that. He's obviously got a long way to go, but you think he could be on the pathway towards joining them eventually if he carries on the way he's going?
I think just the goal scoring record in general puts you in a certain bracket, in a certain category. With, I don't need to say anything more than you just showing his record of goals. So that's hard enough to do in the game. It's the hardest part of the game. But it's like I said, I see the mindset to improve still. His game has improved from when he arrived 6 months ago. And if he continues to do that, he's gonna be, he's gonna have to, at some point, he's gonna be one of the, this is not something you experience a lot,
Just sorry, Simon, just behind.
Question for Belgian television. Mag het in het Nederlands?
Ja.
Voel jij hier in Engeland meer erkenning voor jouw werk als coach dan in België?
Dat is echt het laatste waar ik over denk. Ik weet niet of en hoe ik erkend word in België. En hetzelfde geldt voor in Engeland. Ik ben er eigenlijk niet mee bezig.
Simon?
Want mensen spreken hier al over jouw rol als toekomstige coach van City. Dat is toch erkenning?
Nou, ben ik ook helemaal niet mee bezig, man. Ik ben een trainer in de Championship. Van een voetbalclub in de Championship. En dat is vandaag ook mijn niveau. En dat is hetgene waar ik in geniet. Wat er ook gebeurt, mijn manier van werken is om gewoon echt gefocust te zijn op mijn werk. En me niet te laten afleiden door andere zaken. En ik geniet genoeg van mijn werk. Ik hoef ook niet te veel erkenning. Het maakt me eigenlijk niet zoveel uit. Okay.
So what was tonight like for you emotionally? You've been here so many times, you've won so many matches, you must have so many memories of this stadium. What was tonight like for you?
Yeah, it's obviously it's coming here as a coach. It feels like I've been coaching for 10 years, but then when you see the opposition team, they've all been my teammates, and so it shows as well how quickly it goes in football in the game. But because I know them as players, they've been my teammates. I know the mindset. I knew before this game how they approach these games. I know the culture of the players towards every game, the pressure to perform all the time. Because when you look at the team on the pitch and the team on the bench, those two teams, the expectations are very, very high in terms of performance all the time. So I kind of had a feeling in the first half, just to go back to what, I kind of had the feeling in the first half that we had a little bit of, we disrupted a little bit the flow. But in the end, the result wasn't any different than what they would have liked, but we disrupted the flow. And in the second half, I think that was the game that they expected, and that's what happened. And yeah, I'm leading away a little bit from the question, probably because I'm thinking as I'm speaking now about the night. But in the end, it's always a place where I'm proud to come back. But I was also proud to come here with Burnley.
Hi, Vincent.
Hi there.
13 clear in the Championship. You've not quite won 6-0 in any of those games, but you've blown other teams away. What have your players learned from this experience coming here?
I have this in my head that obviously no one can tell me that there isn't one or two players who don't have the potential in our team, in our current squad, to one day be a part of such a team. If you look at the guys on the opposition, even whether it's Jack Grealish and all these guys, they didn't start at a team like Man City, so they know now how much work they have to do. And it kind of facilitates my message, because when you're 13 points clear, you have a good game at Old Trafford, you go and beat Bournemouth away, who is a Premier League team. It's important that they understand that we're number 21 in English football. Never ever are we number one. We're number 21, and the amount of work that we still have to put in is incredible. But we have to embrace it, and definitely not get carried away, because we have so much to improve on. But this is the exciting part of it. Yeah.
And you said you feel like you've been coaching for 10 years. 10 years from now, could you see yourself maybe sitting here in a Manchester City manager perhaps?
I'm not gonna be able to stop people from saying what they say, but I will repeat the same. Is I'm a championship manager in a championship club. I'm so happy with what I have to do now. That's the only thing I focus on. So it's the only thing really. Yeah.
We've just got Dan and Oliver to it.
Hi there.
This is likely to be a Premier League fixture next season. How do you go about kind of bridging that gap? I know this is an extreme circumstance we're sitting in, but how do you go about bridging that gap and making sure you are kind of ready for that step? Is that a challenge that you relish?
It's the challenge we want. Like, I wouldn't want any other challenge. Why would you aim for anything else, you know? And look, I don't have all the answers today, but I know there's still time. And if you would have asked me the same question about this season in the championship, I wouldn't have been able to give you the answer as well at the very beginning. I think you work hard. We think, we keep finding a way. There'll be good bits, there'll be bits that we can't do again. There'll be players that will improve in the meantime. There'll be people that will come and strengthen. But that's the exciting part, to find a way to close the gap, always.
You're obviously still in development. Do you also have to accept that City could do that to anyone on their day as well?
The best thing I can tell you, and it's the most genuine the most genuine feedback I can give you. I've been in that dressing room time and time again when championship teams came to the Etihad with a little bit of hope. And you go back through the history of results and you see what happened. And you could try every single shape or form. I've seen them all. And just see what happens. In the end, I'll go back home and think the first 45 minutes, okay, and then find out why it went wrong in the second half. You know, that's all we can do. But time is always something that, in my opinion, if you do it the right way, time has to help us to close the gap. I don't care. It doesn't matter if we're never going to be considered at the same level. It's still the name of the game. It's getting better and getting up that table. 21st in English football. That's what it looks like. But not every team is Man City.
Dan. Yeah.
Could you an embargo, please?
Yes, a bag off the Monday section, please.
Thank you. Vinny, you've won a treble here with this club. You were talking about it yesterday, a domestic treble. But obviously the one thing Pep hasn't won is the sort of Champions League,
Yeah.
FA Cup, Premier League thing that you came so close on a few times. When you look at that team today and you know enough about this club and the way Pep works, do you see a squad capable of winning that this year, especially with Haaland in that form?
I think any year under Pep, Man City has been capable of winning it, but it's a knockout competition. It's not over 15, 20. It's not over 20, 30 games like other competitions. So you've got to count. You've got to factor in for. If everybody saw the Real Madrid semi-final, what happened at the Bernabeu, these kind of things. Over the course of a season, you kind of brush them aside, but in those moments, you've just got to expect that those top teams are able to produce moments, and then it's maybe not as predictable as people think. I'm deviating from the subject, but it proves my point. I was just looking back through the record because someone else mentioned it, and I said, asked the question like, how many games? And I think because some people were thinking about maybe Burnley getting 100 points in the championship after 48 games, and with the season we've had, it's tremendous. But this team got 100 points in 38 games, 32 wins, I think, out of 36. I think that's the level of consistency, and we're talking now 3, 4, 5 years later, and it keeps going. So, in terms of the type of side and the type of opposition we faced, when you win 32 out of 36 and this happens consistently, it's there's not many surprises in these type of places.
So it's not as simple as a lot of people seem to think Haaland comes here so they'll win the Champions League now because they've got this proven goal scorer, guaranteed goals. It's not that straightforward, no.
No, it's never straight. It's not supposed to be straightforward. It's a Champions League. Yeah, it's not supposed to be straightforward.
Yeah, cheers. Thank you, guys.
Thank you. Thank you.